Okay. On a little bit early. No, not that one. Just wait. Okay, I gotta mute that sound. There we go. I have a light. No, okay. That would do it. There we go. Give me a shout out when you pop on so I know you're here. Hopefully everybody can make it today. Hi Diane, can you hear me okay? I'm about 45 seconds behind, it looks like. Or ahead of everybody. Hi, Dawn. Can you hear me okay? And Dawn, you're sewing along with me today, correct? Perfect. The sound sounds okay? Hopefully more can make it today with the reschedule. Yes and yes, perfect. How are you ladies today? Tape all stuck to my table. I'm sitting in my low chair. When I stand up, you'll see more of me. Are you cutting out another one, Diane? You love making it, hey? It's a good one. You're just gonna listen? Perfect. Listen for my mistakes, okay? Because you saved me last week. I'm good. I'm tired. It's been busy. Pumped out that Becky tutorial on my days off when I should have been chillaxing, but Toby really needed one. So she's a friend, so I couldn't say no. You got another order for one, Diane. Excellent. Can I ask how much you're charging for it in Canadian? You don't have to answer that question. I'm just curious. It's a nice fast make, so it's pretty good. Oh, Coco says hi. Dexter and I went to his first obedience class today. That was fun. He was a good boy. He did well. He can do all of the tricks. You don't know what you're going to charge for it? Mine, I think I'm going to charge $135 for them. We'll see how that goes. So usually I do materials times 3 and then go up and down from there a little bit depending what I think they'll go for. My bags I usually sell between $165 and $195, and this one isn't a full bag, really. Well, it kind of is, but not, and it's a super fast sew, so I'm hoping $135 is a good price for it. We'll see. I haven't sold one yet, so. The girl that was thinking about getting it for a project bag ended up ordering a Conan bowler bag instead. For her crochet bag. It's bizarre, I know. But that's okay, because the Conan bowler bag I charge more for, so. But really, it all depends on your market. About 100, that might be okay, yeah. It depends on your market. I mean, it's different from place to place what people will pay. I'm going to start at $135 and go from there with my clientele. And if I have to lower it, I will. Still making, well, I think this bag costs about $40 or $50 for me to make. I think. I actually have to sit down and figure it out. But, yeah. You're afraid to tell? Oh, $100 is a good price. Mainly because you're using good quality fabrics. You're using an industrial sewing machine. So I think it's worth that. But again, if you're building your client base because you're new to bag making, sometimes you have to go a little bit lower so people see the quality of your work. That's what I did. Of course, I charged a lot less when I was on a domestic machine, and then I upped it when I got my industrial machines. And then I kind of increased everything by about $20 until things wouldn't sell anymore. So that's how I found out my ×3 number. That seems to be the magic number for my community where I'm making it. So that's about, yeah, ×3. Yeah, don't scare them away. But you have to make sure that you're paid what you're worth, right? I mean, if you're only going to make, say, $20 profit after your supplies, and it takes you 4 hours to make a bag, you're only doing $5 an hour, right? So you just kind of have to dip your toe in and snag those people up that understand your quality, and then make sure you charge what you're worth. Pricing is so hard. It truly is. Oh, I gotta get my phone set up here so I can see it at the machine. What time is it? We'll give everybody just a few minutes to pop in. It may just be us today, maybe. Okay. Let's turn down my sound. Bring it up on my phone at the machine, and we're going to get started here at 10 after. We got lots to get through. It'll be Dawn and I racing the clock, I guess. There we go. Selling quilts are the same. People won't pay them for it. I know. But if they won't pay what they're worth and they're not meant to be your clients, I used to be scared of it, but I have a loyal client base, probably of about 75 people. It took me 3 years to build that. A lot of them have been with me from the very beginning when I used to sew on domestic machines too, and they've just gone up with the prices because the quality has gotten better. So even maybe just to start, like when I first started out, I charged ×2 what my supply cost was. And then as I got more and more established, more and more known, and had more and more customers coming in, that's when I gradually increased it. And I found that at the ×3 after my supplies was where that seemed to be the limit. Hey Karen, how are you? Karen, are you making this bag or are you just watching today? I've got my pattern all up. Yes, yes, I do. Another 3 minutes and then we're going to get started. Listening and still cleaning? Okay. So Dawn, it may just be you and I. I'm just kind of refreshing myself quickly and then we will... Okay. I'm remembering what I did. Are we ready, Dawn? It's the Dawn and Brandy show today. And for those that are going to join us later in the replay, again, I apologize for last Thursday. It turns out a gentleman had a heart attack while driving into a telephone pole on the street, and unfortunately, he did not survive, which is sad. But it knocked all of our power out for like a good 8-9 hours, but super sad. Super sad. But thank you again for understanding that I had no power and we needed to reschedule. I appreciate all of you for that. Okay. So let's power through this. Let me go down like this. Okay. How's the camera view? Is it okay? So we're going to need our back main panel and our clear vinyl and our vinyl binding piece. We're going to work on that back pocket. Oh, it's fun in the Brandy and Dawn show. Okay. So I'm going to use double-sided tape. Just like I do with my slip pockets for my linings. I'm going to put some tape on the bottom of that center line we have drawn in the middle of our binding piece here. And one above it. Camera view is good? Good. Okay, take the tape off of one side. Take your clear vinyl piece, and it should be the same width. So line it up right underneath that line. Clear vinyl is hard to work with. Man, I can't see it. Okay, stick it down. And then you want to make sure when you fold this over the top of it that you match it up as close as you can, because it will be visible. So see what I mean? Because it's clear vinyl, so you want to make sure at least you can see where you're lining it up when you fold it over, and press it down. Looks pretty good. Oh no, you can't find your clear vinyl. Oh no. This is the 10 by 6 piece of clear vinyl. It's probably just clear at the bottom of your bin there, Dawn. It's hard to see. So thirsty. Let me know when you found it or when you've cut a new one out, Dawn. Coco says hi. Oh, Diane, you have one repeat customer that pays more than you. Then she knows your worth. That is so good. That tells you right there that maybe you're undercharging. But yes, feel out the market. And then as you get more and more people, then that's when you gradually increase your prices. So I start at ×2. How are you making out there, Dawn? Okay, well, I'm going to keep going because we got only an hour and 45 minutes to get through this whole part. And I know Dawn will catch up on this fast as soon as she gets that other one cut. So we're going to take this and we're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the bottom of this, making sure you are catching both sides. Now you can't find your overlay. Okay, well, I'm going to continue sewing, Dawn. You just let me know where you are, okay? Okay, so let me switch over to the machine. I got to get used to doing my transitions again. Okay. The overlay, 1.5 inches by 10. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch through there. Make sure you've caught both sides, and I did. Okay. There we go. Trying to get this transition as smooth as I can. Is this a 10 by 10 piece? I can't remember. Now we want to make sure we have it going the right way. So I'm actually going to use my main panel, front panel piece to make sure I have the right width. Okay, so it'll be this way. And then what we want to do is we want to line this up. Actually, at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find my top and bottom centers of my front main panel piece here. That'll help me differentiate between the two. So I believe it's the 10 inch. Yes, the 10 inch is what's along the bottom. And then take your overlay, line it up along that bottom, clip it in place. Hi, Kim. You're making this one? Oh, you're on your way home from work. So you'll be working on it when you get home then. And then I'm going to go ahead and I am going to just base these down all three sides to hold it in place. Okay. Let me switch cameras again. And use a long stitch for this, mainly because clear vinyl. It perforates so easy, so you want to make sure you're using an extra long stitch when you're basting it, because it's going to get abused when we go to actually sew it to the side panel. So super long stitch, just enough to hold it in place. You hear how sticky that is? My clear vinyl is just from a discount bin at Fabricland. I think it's like picnic table cover vinyl. It does the trick. It's great for ID windows. How are you making out there, Don? And I have a little bit of excess of that vinyl hanging off here, so I'm just going to trim it up to the same size. That's just from my lazy cutting. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and I am going to position my nameplate here. I think I got to go grab a nameplate, so let me go do that quickly. Did not grab one. Thread. My arms aren't long enough. No, not that color. This color. Done the overlay, you basted it to one of the exterior, oh, this here. So this is the back exterior main panel. Okay, the front I'm going to find my top and bottom centers. Holy cocoa. Oh, she sees another dog out there. Now the only thing I'm going to not do quite yet, just like the pattern, is place the other ends of my magnetic snaps, and you'll see why here momentarily. Okay, so I am going to place my nameplate nice and centered. Is that centered? Yeah. Right. I'm just kind of eyeballing where I want it to be. This doesn't look very centered to me. Don't want to fold it too much because I OD coated it, so. Where did I put it on my other one? Okay, I put it way up here. So I'm actually putting mine up like 2 inches from the bottom. Again, it all depends the size of your nameplate. And that there will look good. Yep. And I want to be careful what I mark it with because again, this is OD coated here. So I'm going to just do a little bit of chalk. Can you see that? Sure. Okay. Trying to see my lines here. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't think I cut it quite centered, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Cut into it. I think it looks okay still. See, not quite centered, but like my fussy cutting wasn't quite centered, but I think it still looks okay. I won't be so hard on myself. Oh yeah, looks fine. Make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. And then put some duct tape on the back. Okay, Dawn, I'm just going to power through. Stop me if you need me to stop, okay? I know you can keep up with me, so. Okay, so in the pattern, it would say to do your magnetic snaps next. I guess we can mark them out, but we're not going to put them in yet, mainly because actually, we probably can. But don't cut them until I tell you to. You'll see what we're going to do. So pull out your flat piece. We're going to make a mark where the magnetic snaps are going to go. For some reason, my piece is cut funny, but that's okay. So I'm just using my pattern piece here. So 1 inch from the top and 2.5 inches in from the side. I'm just kind of doing a rough mark right now, and you'll see why. Because I want to make sure those marks will definitely, do you know what, they're probably going to, will line up. And they do. With the nubby parts of this. Because we want them to match up. So I kind of just put them over top of the dots and make sure that they're the right width apart, and then that they're centered about the same. And I got lucky this time. They worked out. Usually I am slightly off. Does that make sense? So you can kind of see how my nubby parts here will be perfectly centered with those little marks that I made. So as soon as you're sure about that, go ahead and you can install the, female sides of the magnetic snaps in those spots. I need, where is it? Deckable heavy scraps. So go ahead and do that. And then once this is done, it goes together super, super fast. Okay. We don't need this right now. That's Dexter saying hi now. Okay, I'm gonna cut into it. This always makes me so nervous. It's because it's the front. I'll start with one of them. And I'm going to use the washer to also cut out my slits. Careful not to cut your finger. Do it for both. This one. Two. Put it over the prongs. And I just use the side of my table. I close my prongs in. I know some close them out. I don't know which is the right way. In has always worked for me, so it's my go-to. I always take my mallet and just give it a quick bang. I'm going to do the other side. Shout out if you have any questions at all. I haven't made any mistakes yet, have I, Diane? And then I like to put some duct tape or Gorilla Tape just over the top of those prongs. It helps from those prongs not rubbing against the back side of the lining, creating holes. And in my head, it also just kind of gives it a little more security and stability, because those will be pulled on a little bit as we open and close that flap. Okay, and then just double check that these clip into place. Mine lined up, see, perfection. And we have about the same amount on either side, so it kind of gives you an idea of how that's going to look like that. So that works. Set the flap aside for now. And then next we're going to pull out our side panels. So again, this isn't in the pattern, but I went and I put EB Fuse Heavy, which is like a deck of a light, outside of the seam allowances, not in the box corner part, but the rest of it, just to give it a little more oomph. I am not used to not using foam in a bag, so Dexter is playing with the cat in my bedroom right behind this wall. Okay, so you're going to take 2 of these and you're going to line them up along the sides. Put it right sides together. Make sure your little cutouts here are at the bottom of your panel. Put them in place. Now mine are a little bit longer. That's because I accidentally cut them long. That's okay. I'm going to trim that up here momentarily. So don't worry about that. That's just me cutting it wrong. My pattern printed up a little bit weird on that bottom corner, so I thought it was best to leave it too long rather than too short. I'm actually going to flip this over right now and I'll trim off that excess. You probably don't have that excess. This is just me. And you're going to do the same with the exterior back panel and the other 2 side pieces. And the other side. Okay, I'm also going to just trim up my cutting area here. Okay, now we're going to go down each of those sides with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Alrighty. Going to kind of chain stitch these together. Do them at the same time, just to save some time and some thread. And we're going to do the same with the other side. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Oh, well, that's funny. My thread just broke. Why, oh why? I might need to change my needle. We'll see what happens. It might just not like the stickiness of the Odie coat. this quickly. I don't feel any snags on my needle. It's a newish needle. Changed it yesterday. Get in there. Now the pressure of threading on camera. There we go. I got it. Okay, let's go back in on this one. Okay, and then what we're going to do from here, and again, I am going to just stay at the machine here. Cut these apart. And then what we want to do is we want to have our seam going towards the side panel. So we're going to kind of push this way, like so. Check to see if your threads are stressed out. Mine look okay. And we are going to top stitch through the side panel, making sure the seam allowances are going this way. Are you all done this part, Dawn? Are you ahead of me? Check my stitches look good. Right here, it gets a little thick just because of all the layers. And do the other side and do the same with the other panel. What part are you done till, Dawn? I see why I'm threaded funny here. My threading came out weird. Let me fix it. There we go. See if that looks better. Might help if you have your machine threaded properly, Brandy. Goodness me. Okay, so that's the back panel done. Like that. Now I'm going to do my front panel. You're top stitching. Okay, so you're right with me. And same with the other side. Look at that. I'm all threaded funny. I'll fix that in a minute. I noticed another thing that I'm threaded wrong on. My goodness. Tiffany is misbehaving. Okay, so that's all top stitched. Let me just fix my threading situation I have going on here. Make sure it's going through everything properly. You're done? Look at you, me too. One sec. Let me rethread my machine. Good thing I'm good at threading this baby. Okay. There we go. All right, back to the table. So this is what we should have. Oops. There's my back panel and my front panel. So now we're going to take our front panel and we're going to take our bottom. Bottom, we're going to find our centers and snip them. Don't really have to do the short side centers with this one. Then we're going to take this bottom panel right sides together, and it should fit right in between these little nubbies here. And mine, because I cut mine a little weird, again, my pattern piece for the side piece is cut funny, so I just kind of guesstimated for that box corner. So I am going to go in and just trim that box corner up a little bit, because this should be the same length. Let me just quickly see what I'm doing here. Just going to make it the same width. Cut it just so that box corner just like not even 1/4 of an inch too much. Come on. Bad cutting, Brandy, bad cutting. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will sew that with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. It should take you right up next to your deckable light pieces, your bottom stabilizer. Okay, and then once that's done, we want to do the top stitching of the bottom panel. So again, we're going to press our seam allowance, or our seam allowance is going to be pressed along the bottom panel like so, and top stitch through the top along that seam. Just like so. Okay. So this is what the front main panel should look like. Now we got our top stitching through there. Put that aside for now. Bring out your back panel and your flap. Now if we've done our measurements right, our flap should be the same width in between these top stitching, if that makes sense. And mine's pretty darn close, so I'm matching up those center marks. Clipping that in place. And then we're just going to baste that in place. I'm not going to switch the machine or the cameras over for that. Just baste along there with an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch-ish seam allowance. Okay, so it's like this. So it opens up like so. So I'm just going to quickly baste that. Okay, and John, let me know when you're there and we will continue on. So we have our back panel. Woohoo, it looks so awesome. And our front panel with our base on. Oops, I don't have it split. There we go. Now you can see me. What do you mean? This flap goes against the back panel. This is the back of the bag. Let me grab the So you can see here, it's the back of my bag. So here's the front of my bag. And the flap goes on the back of the bag. And the bottom we sewed to the front of the bag. The flap goes to the back. And the bottom goes to the front. Make sense? Because the flap will be coming over the top and clipping on the front. So when these are like this, wrong sides together, this will be clipping on top, like so. Perfect Galapagos? What's Galapagos mean? I'm confused, Dawn. You're confusing me. Did I say Galapagos? I don't even know what that means. Oh, the Galapagos goes on what side? That was all you. Okay, so let me know when you're there, and then we are going to start putting our linings and such together. Getting to the fun part. We're so close to being done. And we're to the fun zipper part, and I'm gonna wait because I do the zipper different than the pattern. Again, I prefer the zipper tabs, like so, because I just think it makes a pouch style bag easier. Again, I made my zipper tabs too short, but that was okay on this one. You ready? Okay, so we have our zipper tape, right, with our zip tab ends on it already, which we did for homework a while ago. Now what we're going to do is we have our back panel, our back lining panel with the zipper and the turn hole on the back, right side up. Use clips or double-sided tape. I'm just going to put my double-sided tape on quickly. We want to find the center of our zipper as well. So I'm just going to use my air erase pen. I'm going to fold my tabs together and mark the center of my zipper tape just within the seam allowances a little bit. On both sides. Make sure your zipper pull is closing to the left. And we're going to center that on this piece. So you should have your top and bottom centers then from when we put our panels on. So match that center mark. Zipper is right side up as well. So the lining panel is right side up and the zipper is right side up. And then we will double check that this is actually centered here momentarily. So let's see. And I am. I got about 1 1/8 inches-ish on either side, so I'm nice and centered. Okay? Let me know when you're there. Let me know when you're ready to go, Galapagos. That's your new name, Galapagos. Galapagos. I wonder what that means in another language. Okay, so now we have our back main panel. So that's the one that has the flap attached. And the center marked. Put some double-sided tape, or you can clip it. You can also go ahead and baste that on if you want to. Completely up to you. I'm just doing it all in one go. seam allowance she uses here. Put them right sides together, sandwiching that zipper tape, matching up that center all the way across. Oops. Ah, I'm stuck to my zipper. Here we go. I'm just double checking. I don't think it's really going to matter anyways. Okay, and then we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to sew across there with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm trying to see if she used a 1/4 inch or a 3/8. I always use a 3/8. Then zipper out. She doesn't really say. Okay, so we'll take that to the machine. I might be going rogue a little bit. I do that. Okay, I'm going to put on my zipper foot. My left zipper foot. No, my right zipper foot, sorry. Dawn, did you get your zipper feet yet when you went into Vancouver? The reason I like my zipper foot and using double-sided tape is it really does help get a nice and straight zipper. So I'm going to go 3/8. It's in the mail. Okay. So again, this is different than the pattern. All the way across. And then once we have that, we want to push these wrong sides together. Actually, I'll take this to the table to show you. So I might want to use some tape. One moment. Okay, I don't have my iron on because my new iron just came and my old iron is broken. So I'm actually going to use some double-sided tape to base this. So right along the seams here, actually first I'm just going to double check that we are straight, and you can see how nice and straight and even my zipper is there. We want to press these, so go ahead and press these whichever way you do it, wrong sides together. So because I can't iron because my iron's broken, I'm trying to save my new iron for a mail opening, so we'll see if I can hold out. So I'm just going to use double-sided tape. To help me with the seam. Pull it nice and tight away from that zipper, like so. Do the same with the exterior part, bringing them wrong sides together. Any questions at all? Making sense? I know it makes sense to Diane because she's made a couple of these now. So you want to make sure the seam is going down this way. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to top stitch through here. Okay. switch this around. Ooh. So we're top stitching that seam in place with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Looks good. Oh, thanks, Karen. Said I've had this Tula Pink in my stash for a year. And Tula Pink is actually a really hard sale, but I love Tula Pink so, so much. So I just thought beauty bags was a perfect bag for them. Needle down to move my zipper out of the way. I'm going to hit my phone there. Okay, and then we're going to repeat the exact same process with the other side of the zipper tape and the other lining and main panels. Okay. And is the double camera view working still? Like, I've done it the last couple tutorials. I think it's good. I think it's really good, actually. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So that's the back. I'm going to do the same for the front and the other side of the zipper tape. Making sure I did this. Yes, I did. Okay, good. Bobbin got you? Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm just going to continue on. You just do the exact same thing on the other side. I only have one. I went in with a full bobbin, so I hope it's enough. It might get me too. We will see what happens. So we have our front lining panel right side up. Take the other side of our zipper, right side up. Line up that center. It's a little bit awkward with the flap in the way here. They should line up perfectly along here, which they do. Okay. Then we're going to take our exterior front and put it right sides together with that, and then stitch it and top stitch it. I mean, I just love her. I think she's just so pretty, this Alice. So it's nice I got to, hopefully, when I post them, I mean, I got the blue Alice and the pink Alice. So hopefully they will sell. Okay, so right sides together. Oopsies. Get in there. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to go and sew along that zipper. And rather than going back to the table, I'm just going to use my tape flip these around and press them here. Oh no, that one's out. Need a new roll. I go through so much double-sided tape. Oh, I'm down to only 2 rolls. Galaxy order's coming soon. My pre-order is anyways. I ordered more tape with that. Where's the end? The heck? There we go. We don't have Miss Anna in here today because she's on vacation in a warm destination. I'm so jealous. Actually, I'm just going to pop this up on the table to do this really fast. Please hold. Just need a little more space. Okay, that's one side. Be right there. So the tape works good because I wouldn't have been able to iron this anyways because I OD coated that fabric. Okay, and now we're going to top stitch through that other side. Oh yes, for sure she missed it. We had a terrible winter storm here yesterday, and I think it's gotten to you in Ontario, Karen. Okay. Again, this is really awkward to do because it's actually a fairly big bag. Doesn't like to fit under the throat of the machine, and we have pretty much all the pieces attached at this point. So it's all big, long, one long, big, flat project. Make sure lining is staying out of the way. And this bag is so incredibly easy to turn. Oh, I have to avoid my walking foot. I have it going on the wrong side. There, we made it. We cleared it. All right. So Don, let me know when you're there, and then we will move on. Let me switch over the cameras. So this is what we got. We got our linings going every which way. And our exteriors looking like this. We're all top stitched. Here's my snips. Now this part of the pattern, it's weird because she doesn't have pictures. Well, it's not weird, it just means we have to read it. But I got it. Almost done, almost done. My hoodie's driving me crazy. So we're almost to the hardest part of, well, we are to the hardest part of this bag, in my opinion. But we got this. I'm just gonna double check something because I'm fucking getting myself. How you doing, Don? I'm overthinking something, so I have to read this to make sure I remember what I'm doing, even though I made a video on this. Okay. We're good, I think. Top stitching? Okay, no worries. Okay, yes, there it is. I found it. I'm on the right track. Done? Okay. Now what we want to do is I'm just going to kind of stick my flap in and out of the way. We want to bring up this other bottom piece to the bottom other exterior, and your lining is going to kind of just hang out. Match up that bottom center. The other bottom, again, it should fit right in between those little marks. Clip in place. This is the hardest part of the whole bag. It's not that hard. It's more awkward than anything because we're going to be doing that tube top stitch thing again. That we all love. Not really. Okay, so this is kind of what we're forming. We are not doing anything with the lining at this moment. Okay, and then we're going to take this to the machine and sew across there with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Make sure, that's why I kind of put my flap through the zipper because it kind of gets out of the way then. So let's go do that. Oopsies, there we go. You see where we're going to be going with this, Dawn? But at least it's just a short little area we'll be top stitching. It won't be too bad. Okay. So 1/2 inch. Oh, I should have switched into my standard foot. I'll do that here in a moment. You do not need to have the zipper put on now. So we're pretty much doing this like a little box cornered pouch now. Let me switch out my feet. Oh, I don't want to lose that screw. That would have been bad. There we go. Okay, so I am going to use double-sided tape here because I want that seam to stay in place. You don't have to, but I'm gonna. I'm using my thick stuff even. Putting it along that seam allowance, and because we want to press this towards the bottom panel, and then we're going to top stitch it in a tube. You see what I'm doing there? I'm just putting my double-sided tape along the seam. Okay, I'm trying to show you in this camera here. And then you're going to take this tube and the bottom piece here, and you're going to push it down like so, making sure that that seam allowance is sticking up towards the bottom panel. Okay, now the tricky part, because we're going to top stitch this in a tube. So you're not going to really see what I'm doing here. You have two angles, but so again, be very aware of where your... It's so hard to see, even when you're doing it. I'm going to pull everything out of the way, like so. Can you see what I'm doing there? Oops, if I hit the camera. And top stitch. Making sure you're not catching your lining, you're only catching that bottom panel. Hardest part. And it's very important that that bottom panel is going towards the bottom. You just kind of pull everything towards you, making area for yourself to stitch. So it's not hard, it's just hard on the hands and awkward. I think I'm almost there. Almost there. Whew, I'm working up a sweat. I can see the end. Again, making sure everything is out of the way. And back stitch. Okay, and when you go to pull this out, make sure your needle is up and you don't snag anything with it. Didn't we just do this on Tuesday's class with a bunch? Uh-oh, what are we stuck on? There we go. Whew. Done. Okay, we'll take this back to the table. Once I detach myself from my machine, there we go. It was a workout, Karen. Have a good night. Oops. Let me fix that camera light. There we go. All right. Let me know when you're there, Dawn. So this is what we got. Hi, Danelda. Sounds good. Are you making one of these, Danelda? And thank you so much for understanding about Thursday. Unfortunately, the gentleman in the car accident did not survive. Super sad. I was without power, I think, for almost 9 hours, 8 or 9 hours. Good thing it wasn't super, super cold that day. Okay. Just double checking that my top stitching looks good, and it does. So I promise that was the hardest part. The rest is just like a poach, super easy. have no more top stitching to do. Yay! Ah, I see, Donalda. So I'm glad you took advantage of the discount code then. This would be fantastic fast sew for Christmas presents and stuff too. Give it another 3 minutes or so. Done? Okay. So this is what we got. So we got that bottom sewed on, and we got our sides all flappy. So I still got my flap stuck in. It just keeps it out of the way. And now what we want to do is we want to match up our sides here. So where our lining meets our exterior, we're going to match up that seam and clip it in place. And then clip down the lining side. And the exterior side down both sides. We're not worrying about the bottoms or the box corners right now, just these sides. Match up that bottom there. Okay, same with the other side. We'll clip that in place as well. Again, matching up these zip tab areas. Oh yes, get them soon, Donalda, because the codes will expire tomorrow. So make sure you take advantage of the discounts because they do expire tomorrow. They're only good to the last day of the month before the classes. So there is no class this Thursday because there are 5 Thursdays in March. So we will start March's bag, Thursday bag next week. We'll be starting both bags next week, actually. Finishing up Blanche tomorrow. But yes, definitely use your discount codes. Okay, now what we're going to do is for the exterior, we're going to do a 1/2 inch. Hit the lining when you get about 2 inches in or so. We're going to branch out to 3/4 of an inch to the end of the lining, just to make it so our lining is a lot more snug. Same with the other side. And we're just sewing down the sides. We're not worried about the box corners or anything. Okay. I hope I have enough bobbin. I don't even want to look. We'll find out. Holy, super long thread from that last top stitch. There we go. So a 1/2 inch on the exteriors. Oh, look, I unthreaded my needle again. Donalda, if you go, I know I posted it on the Facebook page. There are events set up as well that have the codes and the links to the patterns. I also posted it on the community feed on YouTube, so should be able to find it there. And make sure you go and vote as well. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. my time, the vote for April's bags is over. So I'll be announcing those tomorrow and then trying to get us some discount codes for those ones. Okay,
1/2 inch. Feels like you're working with such a big pouch here. Because we are. Make sure everything stays in place and stays lined up, especially at that join. May need a hump jumper here. No, I'm okay. Okay, and then when you get to the lining side, you get about 2 inches down. Then you can branch out to about a 3/4 inch so we have a nice and tight fitting lining. And then do the same with the other side. Not worrying about the bottom of the lining here. Hi, Annie. Oh, congratulations. Your daughter won first prize for a purse. What purse did she sew? That's so awesome. Again, thank you for understanding needing to reschedule. Okay, so now I'm flipping it to the other side and I'm starting from the lining side. So I'm going to start at 3/4 inch because I'm sewing up from the lining side up. So 3/4 inch till I hit about 2 inches before we hit where the lining and the exterior join. Start about here, and then we're going to branch back down into a 1/2 inch. Make sure our join is nice and even. And you sew over it, and sew all the way down the rest of the way with a 1/2 inch. Now I'm just going to double check on my exterior pieces that my vinyl isn't stressed out because I am using a lighter vinyl. I want to make sure. Do you know what? I'm just going to go down just my vinyl pieces with a second line of stitching just because it's looking a little stressed out on my end. I'm not going to do it on the lining. I'm just doing it on the exterior pieces. Just in case those stitches decide they want to show. I don't want them to. I don't do this all the time, but I find with thinner vinyls, I have to. And these are the Rex vinyls from Emmeline. They're slightly thinner, and we don't have interfacing on them in these seam allowances, so this just helps strengthen that seam. So let me know when you're done that, Dawn. No pressure. Okay.
We're close. She made the zippy bag with large size for her 4-H stitch and sew. Aw. That's amazing. Congratulate her for us. We're all so very proud of her. Little bag maker in the making. Love it. Okay, Dawn's done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ignore the lining for now. Make sure your zipper is undone. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but we have our flap through it, so probably. So now we want to box these corners of the exterior. So when you pull it out like so, it should just box naturally. Open up the side seam here. And you will see that these are going to make sure that those seams from the bottom are definitely pointing inwards. And clip it in place. It should just want to slide in there. Oops. Clip across. And again, make sure that seam's going this way. Kind of pinch it right here. And we'll do the same with the other side. So again, see what I'm doing? Kind of pulling it together. And you'll see these kind of fold in. That's what we want. Make sure this seam is open. should go to exactly where it needs to be. I am going to be doing a tutorial this month, or in March, on the new Sally Tomato Bella wallet. I'm super excited to do that one. Super excited that she asked me to do it, actually. I've never done a Sally Tomato pattern before. It will be my first one. That doesn't look very even to me. Let me look at this again. Oopsies. There we go. That works for me. So we're going to go ahead and sew across here with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I am also going to do that second line of stitching inside the seam allowance once I've done that as well, just to strengthen these corners. Okay, so that's what we got. Oopsies. Come on, turn on. I lost the camera. What happened? Oh,
Punch them in the wrong order. Give me a moment. There it goes. If I hit the buttons in the wrong order, it messes up the cameras. There we go. Okay, so 1/2 inch. So you're not going to see much from this side camera here, but you'll see more from this one. So I'm going to kind of... Diane, if you go to the events, they should be in there for the discount codes. I can look here in a moment once we're done the bag. I don't remember what they are offhand. Okay. Let's just kind of squish it down. Get right in there. A little bit awkward. So across, 1/2 inch. Make sure nothing is getting caught except for that boxed corner. And keeping that seam open. Not the end of the world if the seam doesn't stay open though. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with another line of stitching just to strengthen it. What the heck is going on? My machine is just misbehaving today. Holy moly. I'm using a thread that she's not used to. This is the thread. A friend of mine sent me some size thread. It's super nice thread, but for some reason my Titan just doesn't behave with it for some reason. But it's beautiful for top stitching. Like wonderful stitches. I just don't know why my machine sometimes acts weird with it. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the other side with the box corner. I'm going to just squish it down and out of the way. And another optional line, again, I'm just doing it because I'm using a thinner faux leather and I don't want it to be stressed out. Look it, see? It unthreaded again, dethreaded. Her thread is a very slippery thread. I think that's the problem too. And if I don't hold my threads tight enough back when I start sewing, it just slides through my fingers and unthreads the machine. But don't get me wrong, I love her thread. I just have to know that it behaves differently than my typical almond threads. I think it's because it is such a slippery thread. worth it though. Come on, thread through. Oh, the pressure of threading a machine on camera. My goodness. Okay, second line of stitching. We're almost done. I still want to buy all of the size swag thread though. Done, you beat me. Darn you, Don. Okay. Oh, I'm still attached to the machine. My goodness. Look at this mess I'm making. Okay. All right. So this is what we've got. So the bottom is completely open. We've caught everything on these sides. Can go ahead, maybe I will. I'm going to trim just some of the seam allowances from this on the bottom part of the lining, just because we did branch out to a 3/4 inch. So just like that much. It's up to you, you don't have to. Okay, now we're going to reach in through this bottom and turn the bag through. If you get the flap out first and then the bottom, it works really well. I love it when we can leave the whole bottom of a bag open for turning. So great. Okay, lining side out. Let's pull it the rest of the way out. Tell my hands are tired. Carpal tunnel's gotten really, really bad lately. To the point where I'm almost getting Dave to start turning my bags for me, but he's not home. And that clear vinyl makes it, oopsies, very sticky for turning too. I don't know what I just flung on the floor. Probably my pen. I don't know. Scissors maybe? Plus I OD coated, which makes it really, really sticky too. Okay, so I'm going to reach in that hole and I'm going to push out all of my seams. Make sure my corners turned out good. This side's pretty. Come on. Woo! Look how nice that box corner is. Push out this seam and this little corner here. And this is why, see how nice that corner goes when you just do zipper tabs? And you don't get all of that bulk in there. That's why I chose to do it that way. Other side. Gorgeous box corner. Poke out those corners. Stuff the lining inside. And I'm just going to take a pokey tool and poke out those corners a little bit more. Just from the inside. Looks good. Looks good. So I'm just going to zip it all up. I like this much better. See, it was a little bit better going with the larger zipper. I'm just going to make sure before we finish things up that this comes around okay. Because then all we have left to do is closing up the lining. So she looks pretty good. Look at that. Cute. Still not used to minimal interfacing. I think I might try one of these with foam. Okay, Dawn, let me know when you're ready. And then we're going to get the rest done. As I open up my second thing of pop, I know it's not healthy, but I ran out of bottled water. So I'm having a Fresca. Let me find the discount codes while I'm waiting for Dawn here. 1 second. Okay, can't see the screen for a moment because I'm going to Facebook on my computer.
1 second. Okay, so here's the one for the Wayfarer. That's for the Wayfarer from Acquaint Stitch. And then the Itty Bitty Bowler is this one. I didn't link her website here, but it's So Yours. Perfect timing, Dawn. And there's the Itty Bitty Bowler. Okay. Are we ready, Dawn? I know you know what we're doing here. So we're going to close up that bottom. So we're going to pull out that zipper pocket. We're going to reach in through that zipper pocket and grab the entire bottom of the bag. Pull it through the pocket. First, we're going to match up that long edge and sew across there with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch? Yep, 1/2 inch seam allowance. You're welcome. Make sure you join the events, Diane, on the Facebook side, because they don't have the groups anymore starting in March. All of our groups, or all of our feeds that we were doing the classes in before, will disappear on March 1st, unfortunately. So I've had to create events, but it only lets you create an event for 2 weeks. So then it says the event's over, but we can still post in it. So that's what we're doing on that side. Okay, so once you got that straight edge, don't worry about the box corners yet. We're gonna go and sew across there with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You can tell when we get into the home stretch, we just want to get her done. And I better not run out of bobbin thread. Okay. I'm excited to do the Wayfarer most of all. The Itty Bitty Bowler Bag, I already have a tutorial on that, so I won't be doing another one. But I have a customer order for it, so it was perfect. So the class bag will actually be for a customer order. And if it wasn't for having to do the class bag, she would have been waiting until June for her time slot to come up. So she gets it earlier because it happened to be what was chosen. So 2 birds with 1 stone for me. Yay! Okay, once you got that whole bottom done, I'm not going to go back to the table because we just did this. So you're going to take, can you see this? Those boxed corners, and we are going to box them exactly like we did the exterior, except for I'm going to nest the seams together rather than opening them up. Okay, clip them in place. Do the same with the other side and sew across them with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So we're boxing those corners through the zipper pocket. That's one side. I'll do that one right away. And then we'll do the other side. Make sure you're not catching any of the exterior when you do this, pulling that nice and flat. Only catching where we want to sew. One side done, we'll do the other. What kind of fabric can you use for the sling bag? You can use any kind of fabric that you like. I'm going to be making mine with Luxe vinyl from Galaxy Customs, that new suede-like fabric that, or vinyl that she got in. I managed to snag some from retail, so I'm going to be doing both of mine, the tutorial bag and the
and the clasp bag in those. I'm actually making one for my brother. The clasp bag will be the one for my brother. I'm going to make the sling size for, yes, her coupon code is good for anything on her website. Because there are two Wayfarer patterns there. There's the Wayfarer Sling and the Wayfarer 2.0. Now the 2.0 is a backpack size, and the Sling is a sling size. And then there's a bunch of different pocket options and everything. Like, it's just such a customizable bag. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be my first pattern by them, so I'm hoping I like it. I'll let you know at the end of this week when I'm done the tutorial. But yeah, so if the sling size, if an iPad doesn't fit in the sling size, which is what I want to make for my brother, I will be doing the backpack size for him. But I'm going to start with the sling, hoping that it's big enough to fit an iPad, and if not, then he gets a backpack size. Okay, so once you have those corners boxed, stuff the lining in through the pocket again, double check everything was caught, and then take your lining pocket, make sure the raw edges are folded in, and then we're going to top stitch that shut. Anna, how is your tropical wonderland? I was just talking about you. Were your ears ringing? Talking about how I managed to score some Luxe vinyl from retail, and I'm going to be doing the Wayfarer Sling in them. Okay, and top stitch that shut. Anna completed her bomb.com already. She took it on vacation with her. And that is all the sewing we have to do. I will hop on back over to the table. Oopsies. There we go. Okay, so that's done. You can stuff that back inside. Zip it up. You can see what our lining looks like. It's actually nice and big and spacious, and it fits nice and tight inside. See? Zip it up. Bring it around. And we're done. Yay. So that's what that looks like. Again, I think I might try making one of these with foam. Anna, did you do yours with foam? I'm not used to such a floopy bag. But then again, these are supposed to be toiletries bags, and you don't want them to be too heavy either. So there is my set. All done. Aren't they cute? Super cute. Super cute. Bomb.com. Everybody graduates. Woohoo! I think they're pretty cute. So hopefully they will sell. Because I don't need another toiletries bag for myself. Worst case scenario, they'll be presents. Yay! Any questions? Ah, I see. Thanks, Danilda. I said it's Tula Pink. It was the Alice in Wonderland. Even this fabric was, like, this fabric here actually goes with this one. And same with the other one. They're all Tula Pink. And I got them when they first came out. Tula Pink is a hard sale. For some reason, I can't sell bags in Tula Pink fabric, even though it is adorable. So I'm hoping as toiletries bags that they will attract some attention. So, but fast makes minimal things. I will be selling these for only $135. Hopefully I can get that for them. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Anna. Maybe these should be our Florida bags. It could be the Anna and the Brandy bag. I'm kidding. You've got one already. You will catch up, Kim.
So I don't know if you guys saw my post on the Facebook page. Rather than do monthly class videos, because it was getting really stressful, not everybody doing the bag every month and not having enough pictures, because I had to have a minimum of 12 pictures to do the videos the way I was doing them. So I'm going to start doing them every couple months or quarterly or whatever as I get enough. So I am going to be doing a different format for our class bag show off videos. But I have to go all the way back to, I think it's like October. So I'm going to be doing October, November, and January's bags. So please go to the page and check to see if I have yours. If I don't have yours in those posts, make sure you put it into the comments of that post so I can add it in, because I'm hoping to get that video all made up this weekend. Done. Some of my snaps are too close to the top. My flap is gaping. The flap is supposed to gape like this, you mean? Or you mean right here? I don't think mine's gaping. Anna says once you fill it up, it's okay once you fill it up. Danelda, no. I usually do my bags times 3. I sell the majority of my bags throughout the year, and the ones that do not sell by the end of the year, that's when I do my auctions, and then my clients bid on them. So if you may have noticed mine in January on my business page, and then I get my supplies cost back at least. So I list the starting bid at my supplies cost, and then people bid on them from there, and really sometimes I get more than I expect from that. I usually get my supplies cost plus a little bit more, and then they all go, and then I'm starting fresh again. So by the end of the year or by the end of January, I have none of the previous bags left. Now, I did keep all of my bags that I had made in October and November because they were brand new, and they will just carry over into my next market season because I didn't take them to market. So all my bags up to market season, so like October, September, counts as last year's bags. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's supposed to gape on the, like back here you're talking about, Don? It's supposed to. That's the way it's supposed to look. Yeah, so then I never end up out money. So hard sells for me this year. I had a really hard time selling themed bags. So the bags I had actually done for Cassiopeia that were the bat bag, the cat bag, they don't sell in my community here, but they did sell in auction, and I did get my money back, and I got to make tutorials for them, so that was a win. Another thing I found didn't sell was themed vinyls. Like I got, they did sell in the auction. Like my friend's bag sold, my friend's Daryl's Drive sold, and my Beatles bag sold. My Beatles bag actually sold for full price. My friend's bag, I did, actually I almost got all of my money back from that one. It only went for $30 cheaper than my retail price for it. Anything in Louis Vuitton, fake Louis Vuitton vinyl, no interest at all. I do have my my take 3s in those vinyls that I kept because they were October's bags, so I will see if I can get them to sell. I did sell my Starbucks bag though, so mind you, it was to my son. He bought it for his girlfriend for Christmas, so that counts. I actually gave it to him because I wasn't going to make him pay for it. But yeah, so that's what I do, is I sell whatever I don't sell throughout the year on my website and through market season, because I only do markets in November pretty much. I only do 3 big ones, or 3, 1, 2, 3. I do 4 markets a year. So, and 3 of them are big ones. So whatever doesn't sell from there and doesn't sell throughout the year, that's when I do either, usually I do like a 12 days of Christmas type auction. I did it this year because I was in Indonesia. I did it after Christmas, and actually I found that my auction had a lot more activity doing it in January. So I think I will continue to do it in January. Yeah. So, and then I start fresh every year. So it's great. So pretty much my bags from September to September is what I have for my markets and what I do in my auctions. So, and I do okay. It was great. I paid off my credit card. It was awesome. Any other questions about anything? Did you guys enjoy making this bag? Dawn, yours turned out good? Make sure you share your pictures on the page or in the event, or send them to me so I can add them to the album. You can also add them to the album yourself. If you want to on the page, it is open for anybody to add their pictures in there that they want, or I can add them for you. All right. Look at that. 13 minutes to spare and we're only a few days late. So again, that concludes Thursday's February. I don't believe we're into March already. So the March bag starting not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, because there's 5 Thursdays in March. So we're going to take the first Thursday off and have a little bit of a break. So that is the Itty Bitty Bowler by Sew Yours. And then tomorrow is the last Blanche barrel bag class. So we'll get that finished up. And then next Tuesday, we will be starting the Wayfarer. I will be making the tutorial for the Wayfarer this week. The Itty Bitty Bowler bag, I already have a tutorial on, so I will not be making another one, but I will definitely link. I've already linked it in the class, in the event on the Facebook page, and you can definitely search it out on the YouTube side if you want to see that tutorial. So anyways, my husband, I actually just noticed, texted me, and he is working late, which means I have to make supper tonight. Darn it. So I'm going to go and get supper in. Thank you so much for understanding, guys, that we had to reschedule. Unfortunately, that gentleman in that car accident, he did pass away, so that's very sad. But yeah, thank you for understanding that when I have no power, I can't do a class. So yeah, I'll see most of you tomorrow for Blanche. And oh, also remember, tomorrow morning I will be going live at 10:30 to do the 10,000 subscriber draw. Yay, I'm going to do it live. I'm just not going to show my Rafflecopter live. I will hit the button. It'll say the name, but I can't show it on screen, mainly because it gives personal information about that person, like their email address and everything. But I am going to do the draw live, and we will go through all the prizes and get those prizes to those lucky winners. Yay, good luck, everybody. I hope you won too. Anna, have fun in your tropical paradise. I'm so jealous. And you're looking forward to the sling bag? Me too. Me too. I said I'm looking forward to it, mainly because I get to play with the Luxe Finals, which I haven't had time to play with yet. So I'm going to make the tutorial this week, and I will have it up for you guys by, not by the 1st, but before class. Where are we looking? I should have it to you guys by Monday. Next Monday. All right? Okay, everybody, have a great night. Thank you again for helping me do what I love to do and supporting my membership side of this channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow.